Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, Super Sam 7, and today we're going to be talking about Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 9 called Ultimate Six. This is the Sinister Six in the Ultimate Universe, at least the first team-up of them, and as you can see, it's Sandman, Electro, Kraven, and Dr. Octopus, just like the first Sinister Six in the comics from Earth 616, but instead of Mysterio, we have Green Goblin, and Spider-Man is surprisingly part of the team here. You'll see why and how that works out. Yeah, Spider-Man instead of Vulture. The one in the next incarnation of the Sinister Six is a lot more accurate. But anyway, I guess you could say replace Green Goblin with Hobgoblin. Oh no, because Kraven is there. Anyway, so this actually collects Ultimate Spider-Man issue 46. Now issue 46 was in between volume 7 and 8. It is just included in here because this introduces the Sandman to the Ultimate Universe, who is part of the Sinister Six here. And they're led by Norman Osborn, and the 7-issue miniseries called Ultimate Six, where it's mostly just about the Sinister Six and fighting the Ultimates. Not really that much about Spider-Man, which means it's cool because I love the villain. So here's a picture. This talks about what happened in Volume 3, which was Dr. Octopus's first appearance here, and Justin Hammer, who does genetic tampering, which, after Spider-Man defeats Dr. Octopus, Sharon Carter, who is a redhead in this universe, works for S.H.I.E.L.D., and she sees one of his Justin Hammer's experiments, Flint Marko, aka the Sandman, who has the same powers as he does in 616 universe. He's a super bad dude who has powers, and Spider-Man fight him a little bit. I like how he gets shot and he can move the bullet in his head and spit it out like an actual bullet. I guess that's kind of a cool, neat. Spider-Man defeats him with the water from the firemen. Well, Sam actually comes back, and they decide there's a special weapon to knock him down. And he's contained, I guess, in vials or something. Anyway. Oh no, he's contained with a collar around his neck, so he can't use his powers, also get electrified. Here's a picture of Kraven. And Ultimate Series starts off with Electro waking up after he was knocked out when he was working for the Kingpin. And he gets arrested after he escapes the hospital killing people. And then months later, or it might be 2 years later, let's see if it says... no it doesn't, but... these 5 villains, Dr. Octopus, Electro, Kraven, Sandman, and Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, they're all illegal genetic tampering mutations in this universe. So yeah, Electro is not a mutant. He was genetically tampered. I forget if they explained that about his origin specifically. Here's Sandman. He says he wishes his powers were let down, but he doesn't really talk about it anymore. Norman Osborn wants his son brought to him, and the twist is that when he says his son, he doesn't mean Harry Osborn, he means Peter Parker. And he views him as his son because he has the spider DNA from the Oscorp experiment accident that created him. Or that created Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus. Anyway, so there's been rumors about Kraven giving himself genetic tampering, and it actually turns out to be true a little bit. So it's kind of like the Spectacular Spider-Man is more like a lion, as you can see, that he can turn into, but he's still the weakest one on the team. Anyway, Dr. Octopus manages to manipulate everyone about him going good and wanting to do the right thing, but it's so he can break out, and he still has mental control over his arms. And he breaks out, and like almost everyone in the facility dies after the collars deactivate. And Norman Osborn is able to turn to the Green Goblin now without the Oz serum being injected into him. So they break out, and Nick Fury and the Ultimates go after them and hunt them down and bring Peter Parker in because they're after him. And they lead him on a wild goose chase to Kraven's old TV producer's room because he doesn't work there anymore ever since Spider-Man easily defeated him. Electro is able to teleport, so to say, through electrical power lines, and he grabs Peter Parker and Spider-Man, and they team up, and Norman Osborn threatens to kill his girlfriend and his Aunt May if he doesn't help them. And his plan is to go to the White House, destroy everything Nick Fury has. There's a huge battle, which is super fast to read. Look at this. I gotta say, though, I don't really like the art in the 7-issue Ultimate Six series. The Wasp destroys Dr. Octopus by flying into his mouth. Kraven is treated as a loser throughout this whole book. Even with a genetic makeup, he just gets electrified accidentally and gets knocked out. And Harry Osborn actually comes in Now, this is what I'm thinking. I don't know if they were planning on this to be sort of a tease towards Hobgoblin, because Green Goblin decides to give up, so to say, and Iron Man blasts him with this specific DNA scrambler device he has, where he does it to Sandman. Let me see if I can find that. So Sandman goes crazy here after he shoots him. But I'm going to assume this was a tease for Hobgoblin. Anyway, it was a pretty fast read. I like how the villains turn on Dr. Octopus and Norman Osborn, at least the three thugs like Sandman, Electro, and Kraven. Sandman is kept in this jar. I honestly only remember him returning in the finale of the series. Dr. Octopus still has mental control over his arms. And everyone goes home, and Captain America basically makes Nick Fury feel bad because of all the genetic tampering was done because he was trying to replicate the super soldier serum, and that created this monstrosity you see before you. But it was really good. If I was going to go into a lot of detail talking about it, I honestly would make separate videos on each issue of the Ultimate Six and relating it to the real Sinister Six of the 616 universe, and even cartoons. Because just like a lot of in the Ultimate books, like Electro grows some hair when he's in a coma for a few months. He goes electrified and he becomes bald again. He notices that. Anyway, that's all I have to say right now. Like I said, I really don't care for the artwork in this 7-issue miniseries. Yeah, yet again, I don't know if I showed you guys the concept art of Sandman right here. He says that he can't control his powers well. I don't know if that ever comes up again in the future books, but anyway, again, drawn by Mark Bagley. With that said, thank you for watching. Oh, and really fast, I don't think the 7-issue miniseries really comes into play much else in the main Ultimate Spider-Man books, because yeah, it was just a miniseries that spun off of the main continuity, but I guess it was fun to read and have made. Finally getting to see the Sinister Six again in the Ultimate Universe. I don't remember, I think at the time there was a Sinister 12 from the Marvel Knights Spider-Man series, so getting a Sinister Six was good here. Even though one of them was a forced Spider-Man.